Cevan, man, what a unique situation we have here. I interviewed Omar yesterday, who I met at the gym 3 days ago now.
Yeah.
And now you're his business partner. And he said that you've had some success with the real world as well.
Yes.
So here we are for another in-person interview.
Yeah, cool.
Please enlighten me on how did you find out about the real world and what did you do within it?
I mean, obviously, just like most people in the real world, you find it through Andrew Tate.
Mm-hmm.
You hear things from him, and it's like I've been thinking that my whole, for years now, my whole life, and it's like I thought I was weird. I thought I was different than everybody else. I mean, obviously, I am. That's like most of us that are either in the war room or in the real world or anything like that. It's like you feel out of place with everybody around you, and then all of a sudden you start hearing guys like Sterling, Tristan, and any of these guys, Tate, Waller, and it's like, oh, I'm not the only one that thinks this way. So then you get curious about it, you start watching more, and then you hear about the real world. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was doing like lawn maintenance, different things between laboring, between I was working for a general contractor, so I was laboring different jobs because I was a hard worker. So all the guys hired me to do whatever they needed to be done, and I would jump around, and then all of a sudden I started doing lawn maintenance, and I was running crews on lawn maintenance. Just checking out the properties, telling everybody what to do, and then all of a sudden, whenever I heard about the real world, and like the stuff that. Like what we're doing now, like video editing and affiliate marketing, I didn't even know that was like a real thing. Like I heard about affiliate marketing years ago, so I tried to get into it, and then you find out it's like, what's extremely hard if you're not some kind of copywriter. It's like, okay, you got to do articles and this and that, and that wasn't, I'm not really good at spelling, speaking, anything. Like I've never really went to high school I never went to high school. I got kicked out of high school like my first week in high school and never went back. And then, so that's why I was doing a lot of those jobs that I was doing. And then eventually, like I said, I heard about affiliate marketing, tried to get in affiliate marketing, and then I found out that it just wasn't a good fit for me until I found out that you could just edit videos. You can just take this podcast right here, chop it up, take the best parts of it, and make money off of it. Yep. It's like, that's when it clicked in that. Whenever I found out, I was like, oh, and then I joined the real world, and then you hear Luke talk, and he says, yeah, you just take these long podcasts, you chop them up, you find the best bits, and that's your job to do this, and then you make promos, and money just goes in your bank account while you sleep. It's like, no shit. And the funny thing is about affiliate marketing is I make more money while I'm asleep than when I'm awake. I'll go to sleep and wake up the next day and, there's extra $200-300 in your bank account. There's extra this much money in your bank account. And it's like, damn. That's the best part about it seemed like. It's just, you do all the work while you're awake, you go to sleep, wake back up, and you just made a bunch of money. It's like, cool.
Okay, that was a lot said that we'll dissect in a bit. Mm-hmm. First, so you're saying the only campus you went to is the marketing one, or did you try anything beforehand?
Well, I knew that I needed to work on my writing skills. So originally I joined the copywriting campus, and it was just a lot because to start with, I needed to learn how to spell better. Need to learn grammar. Like I said, I've never went to. When I did go to school, those are like the worst things I hated. I just hate the English language. It's retarded. It's like literally, how do you spell the same word 4 different ways and pronounce the same spelling 4 different ways? And then if it's behind this word, it's this, and it's just like, I just can't stand that. The written English language.
Is it not your native tongue, native language?
No, it is.
Yeah. It is. Oh, okay.
Well, I grew up in a rough area, like a hooded area. Mm-hmm. It's so my native language is like hood. I didn't.
Interesting.
Like we don't. And then so my family's from the country, which is is like white hood almost. And then I grew up in a how can I say this politically correctly or something? Darker. I was in a black, African American hood in Florida. So we went from West Virginia to Florida. So hood, and then everywhere. You know, I never really learned, never really went to school, never. You know, I'd never fit in with the kids or anything like that. We never really got along. The stuff that they think's funny, I don't think's funny. Shit that makes me laugh, I'm the only one laughing most of the time. And in school with friends at a young age and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, and then I met, you know, get around guys that really you can resonate with and laugh about the same things. It's a strange thing to me.
Interesting. And that was throughout your childhood, you say. At what point did you get out of it? Or was it only when you actually moved to a different place that you got out?
Yeah, I mean, well, when I was like 16 years old, my dad started a woodworking business. And then he started making a little bit of money. And then right before the boom of like residential areas, he bought a spot up in like Genesee Beach, Florida area, you know, away from, because where we grew up was in West Palm Beach. You know, between West Palm Beach, Lauderdale, Miami, just bounced around all the time. So, and that's another reason I've really never had a friend longer than 1 year, is because we were moving all the time.
That's rough.
You know, so it's like I went to school, new school almost every single year. And then we, like I said, we moved up to like Port St. Lucie area. People probably know where that's at. And yeah.
So it was just a better place at that point?
That was a better place. That was a better place. But then then we moved around like kids that I really didn't get along with then. It's like, at least with these guys,
you're so
I grew
different
up.
from
Yeah,
them
they're
at
so
that point?
different from where we originally grew up. You know, I talked different. I acted different. I was really stupid at the time. Really, really stupid. So my mom was a drug addict. So I never really connected with my mom. And then my dad was like a major prick, like major prick. Like his father was a prick. Like I don't blame anybody, because it's like, you know, with parents and stuff like that. It's like, how if a puppy came out of a womb and you took it away from its mother and you bottle fed it, and then you had that have puppies, you know, it's like, it's not going to know what to do. It's not going to know how to put them in their place and how to, you know, everything like that. So it's like the same concept of like, their parents sucked. So how you expect them to be any good, you know? And we're all, you know, to a certain extent, we're all products of our environment and everything like that. So it's like, I don't blame them. I don't hold any grudges towards them. It's just, if somebody talked bad about them, it wouldn't bother me at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? I you know, people they just who they are, I guess. You know, just grow up.
That's a lot of challenges to overcome, though, from that period of your life. So I'm interested. That was around up until age 16 you've talked about so far.
Yeah.
And to the person you are now, again, there's still a void there that I'd like to fill.
Yeah.
What was the process there to becoming who you are now from that person?
I mean, it was strange. Like, it was like I lived in a dream my whole life until I was about 25 years old. It was like I was basically just like an observer inside my mind. And I went to jail, prison, did all this stupid stuff, I mean, between 16 and 25, I went to prison and I went to jail about 20 something times, something like just retarded amount of numbers. And then all of a sudden it was around 25, it was like I woke up out of a dream. And I was like, I was conscious of the things that I was doing at that point. And I was like, oh, so if I do this is going to get me in trouble. If I do that, it's going to get me in trouble. Okay. And a weird thing, so weird, super weird. I mean, it's not weird now that I know, but so when I was in second grade, right, it was in West Palm Beach. They lined us all up in a line. They put chairs side by side, back to back, just had kids as far as you can see. And they basically forced us all to do fluoride washes. Like they had this little pump with a pink liquid, boom, boom, and they had those little medicine cups that are only, you know, like a little thing. and forced us, and they would go down the line. There would be teachers here. There'd be like 4 teachers here, 4 teachers there, and they would give 4 kids at a time on each side. They'd give them all cups, and they would put it in their mouth, and they would have timers, and they would tell them to floss around. This is going to help your teeth, da-da-da-da-da-da. And they would force you to hold it in your mouth for about a minute, and then you spit it back out. They said, don't swallow it. It's poisonous, basically. I mean, we know now it's super poisonous. And I don't know if that had any effect where it was like I was almost living in a dream until maybe 20 years later, I was in 2nd grade. I was like 5 or 6 years old. Maybe 20 years later is when that major poisoning of fluoride finally wore off and stuff, like calcification of your pineal gland and stuff like that. Now, I don't know if that was it or if it's just like, in America, when you turn 25 years old, the insurance rate goes down. Like if, anywhere before there, your interest rate is extremely high because you're really a high risk. Now at 25 years old, it dramatically drops. And I don't know if that's because of just that idea of, just that idea of, okay, once you turn 25, you kind of start to mature a lot or anything like that. And I'm not sure if that's what it is or one or the other, but yeah, 25, there was a big difference in me. And then since then, I'm 38 now. So from there to there, I've went from an extreme idiot, hood kid, baggy pants, everything like that, getting fights all the time to where I am now.
What would you say gives you the mindset you have now in terms of working so much and having this, hustler's mentality in a way? Yeah,
all the jobs that I've done really suck. They teach you hard work, but like as far as that's another thing. So I noticed a lot of times that guys want to keep you in the position. Like they would see that I'm a hard worker and not want to teach me anything other than just how to do hard work. And I really picked up on that, and it really maybe gave me like a bad taste in my mouth with a lot of these guys. They purposely want to keep you in a lower position because you're a hard worker, and they want to find some other guy that knows more to put in that position and keep you in yours. And I just don't want to be in that type of position. I don't want somebody to be able to control my fate and control what I do in life. So that's why it's so empowering to be able to, like, anytime I want, I could just find some creator and tell them, like, bro, I'll make a bunch of money for you. Mm-hmm. It's like, like for our guy, we've made, at least $100,000 in sales in like 5 months, mm-hmm. And then more. So what we do is we bring in other guys. We find other guys that have just basically no idea what to do, how to do anything, and then we teach them what we learned, and make a bunch of money. We don't make money.
And you're saying this all began when you joined the marketing campus within the real world. That's where you first learned marketing and video editing?
Yeah.
Or did you have any prior experience?
None. Zero. I had zero experience editing videos, anything, any kind of sales, marketing, anything, talking, editing, fucking comment fishing, mm-hmm. all the stuff that I learned in the real world, I heard about for basically the first time. Obviously video editing, but I've never done it beforehand, mm-hmm. though.
And what was the process there, going from zero to becoming a competent video editor and marketer? Just by process, I mean the steps that you remember, maybe the highlights from that period of time in terms of learning levels or stages.
I don't know. When you're going through the boot camp, it's like I went through that boot camp. That's mm-hmm. the one we originally went to, and then we went on 6-month boot camp. But it's that right there of sitting there learning, first off, learning the program that you're going to edit on, learning how to timestamp, watch videos, timestamp them, cut all the clips out, put them in the editor, keyframes, hooks, subtitles, the branding, the styling, and, color corrections and overlay videos, just learning how to do all that in a way that looks super professional. And branding of your profiles, how to start the profiles, how to do, and the most important part is not giving up. That's the one thing, if I could I tell all the guys that I work with, that is the number one key to success, is keep going and not giving up. That's literally it. It's like,
as long as you have a direction that you're heading, that's a good direction.
That's part of not giving up too. You got to find the direction. You got to find what works, what doesn't work. It would be harder to not have direction from somebody else, but if you're a curious guy and you don't give up, you're going to figure out how to do something. There's plenty of people out there that never got too much guidance from anybody that figured stuff out. I mean, you could sit there and just look at videos. You'd be like, okay, this guy's profile is 300 view videos. What is he doing that most people aren't doing? Or you find 10 accounts where they all get lots of views, and you pinpoint all the similarities between all these different guys, and what are these guys doing? What are these guys that are not doing well? What are they doing that these guys aren't doing? And then you can dissect it. I mean, that's how Omar learned, but that's how we learn a lot of stuff, is we go and look for accounts that do extremely well and say, okay, what are they doing that we aren't? What are a bunch of these accounts doing that we aren't? And we just take all the sauce we possibly can and put it all in one pot, stir it up, pop the videos out.
Cool. Nice. So that was good explanation on becoming, again, competent video editor, marketer. So from there, where did you go? You learned the skill set there, and where did that take you?
So I hit Sterling up in the DMs and said, actually, no, how it started was, obviously you watch podcasts and you see Sterling Cooper with Andrew Tate. So in the emergency meeting, so I was like, who is Sterling? So I found Sterling on YouTube, watched a few of his videos, and time-stamped one of his videos, and found the best clip I could possibly find, and edited that, and got 5 million views on TikTok, and sent that to him and said, hey, can I work for you? He said, yeah, we got affiliates. I was like, huh, okay. So then I started an account, and within everything I learned from the real world, right? Everything Luke taught me, everything right there. I took that, made an account with Sterling Cooper, and made $10,000 within 2 months. And I was like, oh,
I'm just starting.
Wow, This is real. Like, this can really happen. And then it was just on to the races from there. Mm-hmm. But I told, when I contacted him, I said, bro, I'm gonna be your best affiliate. Cause I watch this stuff and I'm like, bro, men need this so much. It's like, between, like, people think, oh, it's just about having sex or stuff. It's not what it's about. It's about male-female dynamics, fixing the relationship. Like, so most in America, there's a lot of single mothers, and most of children from single mothers are getting in trouble, going to prison. Like, the U.S. prison system is 80% filled with single children from single mothers. And if you can fix the relationship, you can start changing the world just by that right there. You got a bunch of kids that are living in families with their together with their, the mother and the father, and it's like, there's so many different aspects that guys like him are changing to affect the world. Just like Andrew Tate, just like Jay Waller, just like all these guys, And that's the main thing that really brought me into this area, that really hooked me in, was these guys are really helping change the world. Mm-hmm. It's not just, we want to make money. It's just like us. I want to make money, but I want that money to give me the freedom to go places. Okay, if I can, start personal brand, we can flex, we can do this, we can do that, but it's all building up that personal brand to sell products that are helping people. Mm-hmm. It's just like Luke talks about. It's not like trading. It's not a zero-sum game. It's we win, you win, everybody wins. We help improve your life. You give us money, helps improve our life. It gives us the freedom and the flexibility to do, to not work for people, to not do this, and everybody's winning. And that's the best thing.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to sell when you truly believe in the
Yes.
product.
That's the key right there. I mean, that's why we do so well with him, with Sterling, is because we believe in what he's doing, and and it's the best part about it.
Right.
Is it's like you're building a legacy for yourself, because you're really helping people.
And what you said earlier, the way you contacted Sterling, that's the right way to do it. Provide value, and then show that you're competent in what you do, and then you'll be hired fairly easily at that point.
That's how it was like right away. He was like, as soon as I contacted him, I sent him this. I was like, got all this views. Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
And how different is your average day now compared to how your life was before you joined the Real Watch?
I mean, just night and day. I mean, before it was like, see, the thing about normal jobs is they just make you exhausted. There's really nothing you can do. I mean, yes, there is a lot you could do, but it causes a lot of discipline to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, go work in the sun and like say, for instance, my situation where it's like you work in the sun from 7 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you go home and it's like, okay, now prepare yourself to take over the world. It's like, I just want to drink some water, have lunch, dinner, probably go to sleep here soon because I got to do the same thing tomorrow. And that's all about having that freedom of, and I've worked a few jobs and they're all the same way. It seems like it's like, that's the whole purpose of like that 8-hour thing. Cause like once you do 8 hours of something you don't want to do, it's like you're mentally and physically exhausted to do anything else is what it feels like to me.
Yep.
And it's like, it's almost like that's part of the matrix. That's part of the system to keep you a slave, is just to make you mentally and physically exhausted. And then, the propaganda is to get, I guess I shouldn't say propaganda, but it's like the narrative is to get young men to get married at 20 something years old. Now they go in $400,000 or $500,000 worth of debt, get a house, get a car, get 2 cars, insurance, and then get married, have kids. And it's like, now that's the best way to keep a man a slave for the rest of his life, is to get him married at 20, 22, 24 years old and start a family, mortgage, and you just work until you die. I believe some language, mortgage actually means like death sentence. Like if you break down the root words of it and stuff like that, I think it's in Hebrew.
Interesting. I'll have to look that up. Don't know that.
Yeah, it's like a 30-year. Like if you kill somebody, right? You go or a bad enough crime, you go to prison. What's the life sentence? 30 years. Literally.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Since you're on this trajectory, where do you see your life heading then, in the short term, medium term, and long term?
I guess that's the next step, is coming up with the plan to really say, where do I see myself going? I mean, ultimately, what I really want to do is that's part of Sterling's plan as well, is to live on a self-sufficient farm, like permaculture, stuff like that, and learning all about how to pasture raise things, rotational grazing, agroforestry, everything like that, and then learn that and to create like a school or something to bring people in, to teach them how to, because that's the number one problem. People say the world's overpopulated. It's like no, one of the problem is nobody grows their own food. They're all being sustained by something else. It's like if you got a farm, if there's a farm, 60% of the stuff gets wasted and decomposes by the time it gets consumed by people. So it's like, yeah, if you eliminate all this waste and more people lived off their own land, it's like, they say you can fit every single person like in the world in like one state or one big city. It depends on obviously how big the city is, but
I'll go back to the real world now. In terms of resources and learning material that you get, how different is it from what's available out on the internet?
Fucking Luke is the man. Like, amazing, bro. Like, when you hear the stuff that, like, the quitting part, that's the hardest part, is not quitting. And, like, I just listened to what he told me. Literally, all over and over and over again, I would watch those little...
Voice notes of his, yeah.
Yeah, the little things, and all the time he's talking about not quitting. He's like, trust me, this will work for you? Okay. All right, I believe you, Luke. And I just kept pushing, kept going. Got banned so many times.
The accounts,
so many times. Yeah.
Social media.
TikTok, Instagrams, YouTubes, whatever. Start it, ban. Go, ban. But the thing is that teaches you how to grow accounts super quick. So I could start an account right now and have have 20,000 followers in 2 months at least, and start monetizing it, because I just got banned. Start over. I mean, I got good at starting over.
Yep.
And
Which, again, is a useful skill for growing people's brands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anybody could come to me right now. And not that I want them to, because I'm so busy doing all the stuff we're doing now. But yeah, I mean, that's the sauce, is just really the guidance in the real world, and then not giving up. That's it. If you can't succeed in the real world, it's because you're not willing to put in the time and effort. That's all there is to it. Either you don't have it, or you don't want to do it. And it's like, I see that so many guys all the time. That's the biggest downfall of these guys. And like Luke said, was like, the guys that succeed right out the gate are the guys that are most likely to quit. It's because it was easy for them, and as soon as something goes wrong, they're like, oh, something's changed. They're so used to success that anytime anything goes wrong, they're willing to just throw in the towel. No, I'll do something else. And it's like, right out for months, I just had nothing but failures, just over and over and over and over. And I just kept pushing, because Luke said, keep pushing. So I said, okay. Just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And then now, like, we could have a good week, $5,000, easy. A bad week, $1,200. We have months now between $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 a month.
All right.
No problem. And that's just from affiliate marketing that we learned from the real world. It's just that.
So this has been over what time period that you joined the real world?
Right about now.
1 year ago?
It's been about a year.
It's a huge change. Huge. In just 1 year, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I went from making maybe $400 a week to where within 6 months of joining the real world, we was making $1,500. I was making $1,500 a week. And now, about a year later, I can make $5,000 in a week on a good week. And
how has that changed your lifestyle? Because that's significant change in monetary.
Yeah, I mean, from not having to go to work at a job anyways, and doing my own thing, if we want to, I could not work for like a week and you wouldn't even notice a difference. You would see a difference down the road, but not right now. But, just doing what I want, when I want, going where I want. So I lived in Florida, I lived in Florida about a month ago, and we just flew out to Spain just because we wanted to. It was like, I don't want to be in the United States anymore. Go to Spain. Soon we'll be going to Thailand. Soon we'll be going to Bali. Soon we'll be going here. Soon we'll be going there. It's just, we just go where we want to now.
Yep.
And that's the best part, is the total freedom. So the freedom of not having to be anywhere at any particular time and still make money anywhere in the world. The same amount of money. I could go live in a country where rent is like $500 a month versus $3,000 a month in the United States, but I'm still making the same amount of money, no matter if I'm one or the other. That is the greatest gift that I got from the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fact that I can make the same, way more money than I was making in the United States at the particular job I was in, and I could do it anywhere in the world.
All right.
It's great.
All right.
It's the best part.
Beautiful. And in terms of impact of the Tates, how have they changed your life?
Just the whole idea, like the tenets of Tate, like what a man really is, what a friend really is, how you're supposed to treat your fellow man, how you're supposed to treat, women in a good way, how to, everything like that. But I mean, see, the thing about that with Tate, with Andrew and is that I thought most of these things, I felt most of the things I learned from him, I already felt that. It's just he was the one that said, that solidified it for me and validated it in my mind and said, okay, I'm not stupid. This is really the way stuff should be. Because like I was saying, between 25 and 38, I had a lot of growing to do. And more towards 35 that I really started really thinking this way. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's Andrew popped up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all like leading up to that point. It's like, oh, okay. All right, this is the way it's supposed to be.
Okay, so, and now I'm guessing Sterling has had quite an impact on your life as well, considering everything.
Yeah. That's where, obviously the bedroom stuff and male-female dynamics. That's where he really made a much bigger impact on me than I would probably say Andrew did. Is because I thought the way Andrew did before. It's just he validated it. But then the male-female dynamics and what women really want in the bedroom and things that don't work and things that, see, that's the thing. So things that it seems like it appears that it works, but then she loses interest. It's like, this is, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then you give it to her and it's like, woo, the relationship just goes downhill from there. It's because, all between the propaganda and the narrative of, like Friends or any of these Seinfeld and stuff like that is like, this is what women want. It's like, no, they don't. And then women will say that's what they want, but that's just because they've been spoon-fed that narrative of this is what they want, when actually, the more attention you show a woman, the more bored she gets with you. Women want a man that is busy doing what he wants, what he needs to do to gather resources and provide for a family, that the more attention you show a woman over time, the more bored she gets with you. I mean, it's just like the old wise tale is separation makes the heart grow fond. It's just that, but seeing it in reality.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so interesting. Just how much strong masculine men can have an impact on all of us. Yeah. Because I've had similar experiences in terms of how they've affected me. And then as you said, growing up, you didn't have parental figures who could guide you in the right direction. So you do need to rely on, again, strong masculine figures for that kind of guidance. Yeah. And it's just beautiful to see that they do exist in this world and are a positive light for people like us.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. It's like you said, I didn't have good parental figures, and then having guys like Andrew and Sterling and stuff that Jay Waller, that'll teach you how to be. Oh, another one. Steven. You know Steven, right? Steven.
Ronald Bell?
Stephen Ronald Bell.
I haven't met him.
Yeah. He's got it's not a podcast. He just sits in front of a computer and tells you like masculine ways, like shit. Actually, the one that I saw first that really I was like, oh, this is the guy I want to listen to. He says, I'm here to teach you all the stuff your father never did.
Wow.
And I was like, no shit. And then so I started watching his stuff, and he had another major impact. I mean, he's friends with Andrew and all them, and Sterling. Yeah, he knows all them. He's a good one.
Okay. It was an insightful conversation. Thank you, Cevan. I'd like to wrap it all up with For people who are unsure about joining the real world because maybe they think it could be a scam, what advice would you have to them?
To think that it's a scam, I mean, it blows my mind that people really think of that. I mean, I don't know. I really couldn't say why would people think it's a scam? I don't know. It's just not. See, well, a lot of people get in there and they're just not willing to put in the effort. Just like one of the guys, he started on the YouTube channel and then was like, oh, this is a scam, da 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 da. It's like, so you don't have the time and effort to put in. You don't want to put in the time and effort. It's not going to work for you. You know, if you're not willing to do the things that they're telling you to do. And here, the one thing, so I noticed older guys, if you go in the real world, you'll see the young kids having fast success, doing much better than older guys. And the reason for that is because the young guys have no idea and they just do what they're told. They just do exactly what the professor says. They do exactly what their mentors say. And they have no idea of anything else, so they don't try anything else. They just do what they're told. And the older guys are like, well, I could do it this way, and I could do it this way. And then they keep trying. It's like when you have a mentor or you have a master teaching you how to do something, like if you have a master teaching you how to do something, you don't say, oh, let me try it this way. You just learn exactly, you go down the road of exactly doing every single step that they tell you to do. And then once you master it and you're a master at it, right? And then you could try it your way. But that's the biggest problem that older guys have is they just don't do what they're told. They try other shit.
Okay, and for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
I mean, our biggest account that we run is Bedroom Coach. If they want to find us, they could you definitely learn a lot from our channel. And if you want to contact me, you could always send me a DM, Bedroom Coach. Hopefully we can I show you like a logo or something maybe?
Logo in terms of what? Just so they know where?
There's like 6
Okay,
different accounts.
here's what we do. Go to the description of the video and it will be linked there. Easy.
Okay, perfect.
We'll link it there.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Cevan, was interesting to hear your insights and everything. And I look forward to doing a follow-up at some point in future to see how everything's progressing for you.